Hello, welcome. My name is Rich. This is Champions Online, a superhero-based MMO. It uses, I don't want to say the rules, because that's not entirely true. A lot of lore from a pen and paper RPG. The character I'm playing as is Technical Issues, an electricity superhero. We are currently in Canada. Yes. The point of this stream, as with all the previous streams, and I expect almost all of the following streams, is to look at the story that the game that I'm playing is trying to tell. Now, I'm not quite sure what game I'll be playing next. It might be DCUO. It might be something else. Currently, we are... What are we trying to do? We're trying to help Clayton Griswold, who is a hapless holidayer who didn't realise when he was booking his holiday at this lovely little collection of huts that it was right in the shadow of a tower built by a maniac who wants to take over the world. And he and all of his friends who also booked are being threatened by clones and raptors. We spoke a lot last time on Wednesday about these raptors, or these dinosaurs, reminding me a lot of characters from a cartoon. And also we theorized about how Teleios, their creator, the owner of this tower, could have created them, what genetics he would have to have used, and how such apparently reptilian creatures might be able to survive in the frozen tundra. But currently, as I said, we are handing in missions to Clayton Griswold. I'm not quite sure how much left we've got to do here. This mission takes us all the way up through Teleios Tower, and will take a long time because there's like 4 or 5 different levels of the tower and a lot of fighting. There's a bunch of missions up here that were given to us by a native mystic superhero called Ravenspeaker, which, because I've done them before, I know are to do with demons. This is an area inhabited by Bigfoots, apparently. And we have a few missions around here. We also, last time, were adventuring on Monster Island. And I don't know that we're going to be going back there today, because there's a lot to do here. And now that I'm here, I kind of want to see if I can get to max level 40. And once I've done that, I will be able to go anywhere I like and take any missions I like, and not have to worry about not qualifying because I'm not high enough level. Hey, Liffy. Nice to see you along. I'm glad you're here. Thank goodness you are here. This was supposed to be the vacation of a lifetime. Then those things came out of nowhere and attacked. You know, when I booked this vacation on the internet, it might have been nice to know that the compound was built under the shadow of a crazed supervillain's lair. Yeah, I'm not surprised they didn't share that on their site. It would be somewhat off-putting, I expect. Thanks so much for saving my friends. Technical issues. Next year we're vacationing somewhere safe, like Monster Island. I recommend against it. Although having said that, maybe by next year, things won't be quite so crazy on Monster Island. I mean, that's probably a bit optimistic, but it's possible. Whoa, you really handled that well. I just wish I had film left in my camera. An even stranger danger. Well, you managed to stop a few of those monsters, but I saw some more north of the village. They looked a lot meaner and weirder than the bunch you just faced. They've got some kind of creepy alien symbiotes around their heads and down their throats. I'm telling you, this vacation is turning into something straight out of a late-night horror movie. Yeah, I was just wondering what an early morning horror movie would be like, or a mid-afternoon horror movie. But then I realised that's probably sort of Goosebumps, something that's suitable for kids. Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark? Which, by the way, the intro of Are You Afraid of the Dark still freaks me out to this day. Are we going to see? Yes, I think we are. One of the idiosyncrasies of the game. We entered through here. Did I? Why do I still have this? I know that I did this mission fairly recently, but did I do it with this character? No, because the map is not. It's still got fog of war. It's not revealed. I'm just mystified by why the whole map is fully explored. Perhaps the game is confused because I've done it once. It's just gone. He knows what it looks like. We'll just show him what the whole layout is. Perhaps. I don't know. But yes, one of the idiosyncrasies of the game is sometimes the map will have you enter through a door here, and have a corridor. Like, this is not a wide section of wall. I don't know where this door is supposed to lead, but I really struggle to see how it could functionally fit here, unless we are currently within some kind of compressed space or pocket dimension. Now, true, the outside of the on the one hand, the outside of the shack that we just entered could not possibly contain even this whole room. On the other hand, perhaps we've found the entrance to this underground complex within the shed or shack or log cabin. Like, just because we entered through the front door of the cabin doesn't mean that there was canonically within the universe of this game a direct one-to-one enter through that door and come out here. Like, maybe there was a trapdoor and a set of stairs. But still, I mean, really, I think the only way you can explain this is if it is a pocket dimension in here. This is the Watsonian explanation. The what was it? What was the other one? The Watsonian is the in-universe, and the out-of-universe is the what was the name of the author of Sherlock Holmes? Cannot remember. Doyle, that's the one. Arthur Conan Doyle. The Doyleist explanation, the out-of-universe explanation, is simply that the creators of the game messed up and didn't think it through. So I suppose some of you might be wondering, but hold on, there aren't any space-based superpowers or, you know, dimension, gravity-based superpowers in the game. And that's not entirely true. There are some powers which have a gravitic effect. But also, there are definitely space-altering technologies in the game, because your character can pick up large objects. I mean, like the size of a human or bigger, and have them in their inventory without it physically manifesting on their person anywhere. So clearly your character in the game has some kind of bag of holding or equivalent technology. Because, I mean, one of the first things that we encountered that we were able to pick up that we shouldn't have been able to was a section of statue that had been we had discovered, a statue of Grond in the southwest desert, which was physically larger than my character. Now, it is possible in the game, if your character's strength stat is high enough, to pick up more or less any freestanding object that you come across, and carry it around or throw it at people. I think it might even be possible to pick up the transports and tanks that we found in another one of the rooms in here. My character's strength stat is 10, the base stat amount for the game. So she's not going to be picking up any objects like that at all. But a strength-based brawler character, or a tank, you know, anyone who has a high enough strength stat, basically, would be able to pick up, not these, because, oh, maybe. This is a targetable object. I didn't realize it would be. But maybe not. I mean, I'd probably have to come back here with a strength character to check it out, which I probably won't bother with. I mean, I do have strength-based characters that I will at some point be playing up to this point, or somewhere similar where I could, you know, similarly find a large object to try and pick up, like a set of computer towers or whatever. But I probably won't remember by that point. Oh, these are Hunter Patriots. I thought we were fighting Argent. They look fairly similar, even if the only difference is the Ushanka hat there. Like, the colours are fairly similar. But what tipped me off was that they had a psychic effect around their heads, implying that there was a psychic link. And I remember some of the lore about the Hunter Patriots being that they have a magic-based psychic link between squad leaders like this commando and any of their squads like this ambusher. Oh no, what did I think? I thought it was Viper actually, and I wasn't paying any attention whatsoever to the fact that these guys don't dress anything like Viper. I just thought, oh, this is a guy with a friend who's invisible who will jump out at me. That's something that Viper do. They have their infiltrators. And I just wasn't paying attention at all to the fact that they look nothing like Viper. Until I realised, oh hey, hold on. He's got a psychic link. That's not something Viper has. Well, no. There are members of Viper who have psychic links, but none of them who have psychic links dress like this. They dress in bright green, like the Project Awakening chaps who we dealt with probably a week or two ago at this point. Here in Canada, the last time that we were here. I forget exactly what sequence we went through. Project Awakening is over here. He said there were more... Oh yes, that's right, Teleios sites, which, as I expressed last time, are pretty horrifying. I can't wait to warm my toes in front of the fire. Thanks. Yeah. I realise there's a very simple reason for why the game creators put the guy out there on that pier, but and that being to make him easier to find for players. But as someone who's apparently an entirely average human, standing outside in this weather, in this environment, in just a plaid shirt, I do think he probably would have been better off standing in the lee of a building or something, keeping himself small to minimize surface area. I'm saying that I can't think of a Watsonian explanation for his choice there. Only a Doyleist one. Oop, that's a mind worm. He managed to get one off. Yeah, mind worm. There we go. Very helpful. Thanks. Don't tell me anything about what a mind worm is or how I might defeat it. Just casually tell me that it's a mind worm. That's helpful. It's a bit like the lizard men in Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, where a lizardman is called to the stand during a trial and asked to state his name, species and occupation for the record, and he goes, lizardman, and lizardman. It's a great bit. Gets referenced a lot. And the fact that the mindworm, which has, mindworm as its name here, also had mindworm on the info section, and then in the description, mindworm. Like, yeah, cool, thanks, bud. Wouldn't have known without that. They're helpful. Something I noticed yesterday, or the day before. Yeah, like the Leslie Nielsen bit with, "Who are you? How did you get in here?" "I'm a locksmith, and I'm a locksmith." Yeah, that's a great bit too, and it predates the Harvey Birdman bit. Still need to come back to what's his face, just to let him know that I've dealt with the Teleios sites. But like something like that, where it's just the description text is consists entirely of the name of the creature, is absolutely no help at all. Yeah, like there's no Watsonian explanation for why he's out on top of the ice here at all, dressed like this particularly. Thanks for taking care of those creepy things. I'm gonna have nightmares for weeks after this. Not surprising. Like, I would have expected to find him, Watsonianly speaking, here, for example, or perhaps just tucked away here or something. I mean, you do find other characters in this environment, in fact. I think when we come down here, we'll find a dude who's cowering away behind a building, although in his case he's hiding from Viper patrols. Or, no, I forget which. It might be Argent, or it might be Hunter Patriots. I think it's Argent, actually. That's the thing about this game. They've got like a limited selection of enemy groups that a particular enemy might be a part of. Like, there isn't... Well, no, that's not true. There's one faction that's unique to Canada, the Hunter Patriots, and there's one faction that's unique to Southwest Desert, which is the Irradiates, and there's one faction that's unique to Monster Island, which is the Manimals. But unlike, for example, World of Warcraft, which has a huge range of enemy types, a number of whom are unique to certain areas. I'm just saying it gets a little bit difficult to keep track of who's doing what in a game with such similar looking and so few factions. Good work. Our intel says that you really hurt Teleios today. Thanks for making a difference. Technical issues. Teleios, you stink, and no one likes you. Yeah, that's hurt him too. Devastating. Master of insults me. Right. Yes. Do I only find the respawn point if I actually fly over it? Yes, apparently so. Okay. Raven Speaker. They call me Raven Speaker. To my enemies, I am both a trickster and oh yeah, we've heard this before. I regret pulling you from the sunny shores of Monster Island, but there is a great evil growing here. Stop watering it then. Oh yeah, we've probably already read that as well, haven't we? Do not be disconcerted, technical issues. This is merely my astral form, which allows me to see events from afar. I'm not alarmed. I've seen witchcraft do this already. Not quite sure what's going on there. I mean, when I breathe, my shoulders don't flex like this, in and out. Yeah, I mean, I imagine Teleios has probably engineered himself a number of genetic traits, including odorless sweat. Actually, this weird flexing reminds me that yesterday I watched some of the new spitting image, which is up on YouTube, appropriately in on the spitting image channel, and it reminds me of the Dominic Cummings puppet that they've got, which, when he's thinking hard, his enormous head squishes in at the temples. He's also got an incredibly long, pointy chin and nose, and unlike all of the other puppets, the eyeballs, the pupils on his eyeballs are set up like the ones on Gritty, so that when the head moves, the eyeballs wobble enormously, and that just absolutely tickles me. Technical issues. I have received an urgent request from Ironclad. He is on Monster Island and needs help. Will you go, my friend? I mean, yeah, sure. We were just there. Doing pretty much... We got to pretty much all of the missions that we could whilst we were there. But yeah, okay. I mean, this is just going to be an introductory mission that tells us to go along. And I suppose we'll follow up on it in 4 levels' time. An infestation of evil. The very presence of Necrol's minions corrupts Burial Butte, which was once a place of peace and serenity. The most foul are surely the Necrolticians. The Necrolticians, dark servants of the immortality-obsessed necromancer Necrol. These Necrolticians are a pox on this land, and, unless they are stopped, Necrol's malevolent evil will continue to grow unabated. Yeah, I don't know why fantasy elements, or, well, anything really, insists that evil is dark and that good is light. Like, I don't agree with that. It's pretty reductive. It's also fairly boring from a storytelling narrative stance. And I wish people would stop using it. Many of the vile necroticians gather mementos from exhumed corpses in Burial Butte. Not only do these grant them power, but they often cause the spirits of the deceased to become restless and angry, and susceptible to the necroticians' control. Head to Burial Butte, gather the stolen mementos from the necroticians, and return them to the graveyard there. Okie dokie. Now, the necroticians, you may notice, look basically exactly the same as Shaman, Ice Spirit Shaman. They're basically the same model, they just got a different name. In fact, I suspect they might have... No, they do have a different info text. Or actually, you know, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've read any of the info text for the Ice Spirit Shaman. So, the Walking Dead, the Undead, and the Unholy, cursed souls all, for whom death cannot claim. This nefarious necromancer shoots dark bolts and blasts, and can raise up zombies out of the bodies of the departed, the doomed, and the damned. Now, they may not be on this map, it may only be on the disaster, the calamity disaster event. But if they're here, they'll be over near this side of the Steelhead base. And I'm interested to see... No, these are Hunter Patriots. They're not who I want. Interested to see whether the info text is the same or not. No, maybe this isn't the right place. I think they've been replaced with Hunter Patriots across all the places that they would have been. Because you don't really see ice demons of Gigatilic around. I mean, you occasionally see ice hounds who have managed to take down a Hunter Patriot or a Viper or an Argent chap, but generally speaking, right, yeah, this is the this is going to be a Halloween event area, because these are werewolves who are part of the Lycan. Okay, Lycan, sorry, not werewolf, who are part of the one of the factions of the PvP event. Anyway, where were we? We were up here, about to take on some necroticians. So let's return to give them a bad time. Odd topography. Interesting. The summoner is gone, but the summoned creatures remain. Scavenge memento. Yeah, okay. They all look the same, or they all have the same image for some reason. I mean, I suppose it makes sense that it would be difficult to go through and give them all unique images and appearances, or at least, you know, a selection of 5 or so. It makes sense that there wouldn't be a wide range. I don't know whether the necroticians themselves are dead. I suppose it could go either way. I think they're just necromancers, and the oddity of the definition for necromancer is usually implies that the necromancer himself or herself, themselves, are usually alive, which is, now that I think about it, thematically a bit odd. But then I think usually if it's an undead creature that raises more undead, they usually get called a lich, or just a mage type undead summoner or something. How many more do I have to defeat? 5 of 10. Okay. Okay, so the attacks he was just using, I think, are the energy builder from the Darkness set, and it looks almost exactly the same as the ranged attacks that the Teleios swords in this region use, only purple rather than red. Presumably, I mean, purple is the standard colour, so presumably the red colour, other than helping to differentiate them, is just there to indicate that maybe it's from a biological source rather than a magical source. It's just a bit odd because usually, oh no, that's not true. I was about to say usually they don't bother to change the colour, but I have realised more recently that other psychics do use non-standard power colours. I think that the Viper adepts use green rather than purple. Or, well, magenta, really. As, for example, Psy in Millennium City have, who's this? Have magenta psychic powers. Boo! Haha! I got you, didn't I? Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I ain't here to cause no harm to the living. Well, unless you're a hunter patriot. They're the scum that murdered me nearly 150 years ago when I was a frontier lawman. Now, I'm stuck here, at least till some good Samaritan comes along and dispels the curse that binds me here. Oh, okay. Surprising that he doesn't have an exclamation mark over his head to indicate that he's got a quest or a mission. Ghost of the brave Mountie who died nearly 150 years ago after bringing Hunter Patriot founder Eberhard, E-B-E-R-H-A-R-D, Eberhard von Schultz to justice. What an odd name. Eberhard. That's got to be a pun name. That can't be a serious, real people name. Like that's almost a porn star name. Samuel White was killed by Eberhard's Hunter Patriot followers, who then cursed Samuel White's spirit to haunt Burial Butte. That sucks. So, about 150 years ago, I shot down Eberhard von Schultz in a gun duel up here. I was a Mountie, he was an outlaw, no bones about it. But his gang, the Hunter Patriots, they murdered me and cursed my soul. To undo the curse, I'll need my bones, and the Hunter Patriots have 'em locked up. Keep an eye out for one of those cyborgs up there. He'll be holding the key to my bones. Interesting. Oh, it means it's an old Germanic name meaning the strength of or courage of a wild boar. Eberhard. Fair enough. Odd that a guy who's, well, maybe it's not odd actually, that the leader of the Canadians who want to separate from the British Crown is, and the founder is German. I mean, you would have thought that it would be the French actually, that it would be a French leader. Because the French, particularly at that time, loved fucking with the English. Or the British. Not that they don't anymore, but they're a little bit more subtle about it since the Second World War, and we helped one another out. Okay, let's go get shed key from the cyborg. Cool. The first one we tried had the key. I'm very curious about this. Use key on shed. Oh, I thought it would be coming in here, not into this outhouse. They had his bones in an outhouse? What the fuck? Rude. My bones! Oh, look at them! You don't know how good it is to see them again. Not that I normally saw them when I was alive, of course, but you know what I mean. But you're still here? I learned the first time I tangled with Eberhard von Schultz that his Hunter Patriots, that I needed something more than my normal gun to take him down. he had some kind of mystic protection, so I got myself some magic bullets. They are in a crate being guarded by some of those hunter patriots. I'm going to need them again if I'm going to break this curse. I mean, okay, but I don't know what kind of bullets he would have been using in... So nearly 150 years ago from 2009. Let's call it 1860. So what weapons were being used in the 1860s? Did they have pinfire yet? She's supposed to be the ring girl. Legend has it that in the fall of 1787, young Mary Chambers went out one morning to gather some berries, as she and her mother were going to make some pies later that day. Hours passed, and it was beginning to get dark. Mary's family went out looking for her, but Mary was nowhere to be found. The townsfolk organised a search, but no traces of Mary were ever found. A repetition of found there. Could do with a little work. Locals will tell you that in the autumn they have seen Mary's ghost by the roadside near the woods where she disappeared. Some say she haunts the long-abandoned farmhouse where she and her family once lived. Just what happened to Mary is not known, and possibly never will be. She is a spirit with supernatural powers, sometimes appearing as herself and sometimes as a ghost. Okay. I mean, it's slightly contradictory that you say in your info that no one knows what happened to Mary Chambers, and yet she's here, hanging out, being a superhero. Hey, I'm Jack Bandit. Welcome. Yes, the game is still alive, although only barely. Perfect World Entertainment, who currently own it, are basically just keeping it ticking along in the very most basic manner they can, and it pays for itself with people buying Zen to spend on the keys that open lockboxes. Burial Butte was once a place for the eternal rest of the dearly departed. Once we drive back Necrol's and his dark allies, that should be Necrol and his dark allies, it will be so again. Okay. So I don't know if you are new to the stream. Yes, I do play City of Heroes. I can't play it on stream because it's not currently being officially run. It's fan run. I usually play on Homecoming. I actually haven't tried any of the other servers, but I think it's really cool that there's a bunch of people out there still keeping the game alive. Yeah, I played City of Heroes back in the day when it was still live, and once I found out a year or two ago that Homecoming was running it, I jumped back on, and I've been playing this pretty much since it came out, just on and off. Oh, you played it too. Cool. What sort of characters do you like playing? I usually prefer ranged characters. I really enjoy the Sentinel on Homecoming. I think it's cool that they tried out a ranged character that could kind of tank, that had a secondary power set of defensive powers. Because you don't usually see defensive power sets on ranged characters. I wonder why they're keeping what's his face's ammo out in the open. Yeah, to be honest, for some reason I don't really enjoy melee characters in City of Heroes. They're right here. I don't know that I could put my finger on exactly why melee characters aren't terribly enjoyable for me in City of Heroes. Oh, right, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I'm not huge into roleplay myself. I really like that it's there. I really enjoy that people do it. But I usually prefer to play on roleplay servers because everyone's much more chill. Like, I was playing on a non-roleplay server doing the I don't remember because it's been a while, but the sewer XP mission that you can do as a low-level character just to get you a huge boost of XP. And someone on the team I was with was complaining that people were stopping to buy extra powers as they were leveling up instead of just zooming through as quickly as humanly possible. Everyone else on the team was like, no dude, what, chill out, buy the powers, they make you a bit more efficient because you've got more powers to use when you're playing. And this person was super hardcore, like stick up his ass power leveling. And after that I was like, yeah, no, I can't be bothered, I'm just gonna go. This is why. That's right. I remember. This is why I played RP servers. Because people are less intense about the actual gameplay. These little beauties ain't got a lot of magic left in them, but that ain't why I need them. Nope. They're going to be what you call ceremonial. That's not what I would call ceremonial. Ceremonial isn't a word. It's ceremonial. It's all magic stuff. The important thing is that you got him. So I was wondering, he's from 150 years ago. The kind of weapons that they were using in 1860 were they were black powder powered rather than cordite, so smoke powders rather than smokeless that we use now. He was a Canadian Mountie, and I don't know what kind of weapons the Canadian Mounties were using at the time, but it might have been the same sort of thing that the American Rangers used, which would probably be Vulcan handguns at this point. I mean, let's see if I can look it up on Wikipedia. I'm just like theorizing like what kind of ammo he would have had, whether it would possibly still be usable. I mean, I guess he's saying he doesn't actually need the weapon to be functional, or the ammo to be functional. He just needs it to be present so that it's there for a ceremony. No, I wouldn't know how to look for it on Wikipedia properly, so I'll try Google instead. Also, it was definitely a bit odd that the Hunter Patriots were keeping the ammo outside on top of like a sharp hill, not inside somewhere. 1860s guns. Canadian. Oh, so this was during the American Civil War. Black powder. What were they using? Canadian military. Well, he was a Mountie, so not exactly military. But apparently they were using flintlocks until 1883, when they got the cap lock. The pinfire. Percussion caps. Right, okay. I know what those are. So he would have been using flintlock ammo. So ball ammunition that you load with a rammer. So basically musket balls. I didn't realise that they were still on muskets so late. I thought that muskets... flintlocks went out earlier than 1883. That's weird. Star carbine. He might have had, if it was a carbine instead of a rifle, like not a rifle, but like a full long arm. Because, strictly speaking, you should only refer to a rifle if it's got rifling in the barrel, and they didn't bother rifling flintlocks because of the way that you load them. Well, I don't know how you would pronounce it, Liffy, but I have been watching a lot of a guy called Ian McCollum on YouTube who does who has a channel called Forgotten Weapons, where he talks about basically pretty much all of firearm history, and he pronounces it carbine. He's American. I don't particularly care that there might be a difference between American English pronunciation and British English pronunciation on this, but so the Colt pistols only came in 1885 in Canada. So this is not America where they were developing the weapons. Service rifles, service pistols. Oh, this is stuff from the 1900 onwards. So unless he was buying his own stuff, which he probably wouldn't have been because he was just a Mountie, not like a commissioned officer or anything. He was probably using musket balls. Not that the creators of the game would have known this, because I doubt that they did the research. but his ammo that he asked us to go and look for would have been lead balls or balls of something, probably lead. And I don't know how the game expects someone to have enchanted lead. Lead certainly has some mystical properties. It's usually used mostly in alchemy when we're talking about magic. But I do wonder how someone fits magic or enchantment into a lead ball. To break my curse, we're going to need to learn how they done it. And to do that, we're going to need the books of spells they used. The Infernus Maleficon. That sounds like a bad time. It was buried with the fella that cursed me, but some ghouls got into his grave a couple years back, and now some of them carry it around with them. I don't know why, and I doubt they do either. Maybe to feel some sort of weird connection with the dark magic on the pages within. Perhaps. So now I need to find some zombies. Oh, in the same place that we were going to anyway. Cool. Oops, phone too far. Oh, hey. This is an open world mission that I didn't know was here. Destroy totems to take down Rictus' shield. So, this is a chap called Rictus. What a cheery fellow. Destroy totems. Oh, is it? Oh dear. Well, if there are any bugs, I guess I'll just leave it. What kind of bugs does it have? Curious now. Like, does it just not complete certain objectives? Or is there... Oh, really? Well, it doesn't seem to be auto-completing now, thankfully. Well, maybe not thankfully, I mean... Mostly I'm just curious about what the story might be of the mission. And if I can find out the story as easily as possible, like without having to do it, then I guess I'll take it, but how many more? 3 more. I suppose that having it auto-complete would only be awkward if you wanted the rewards. Like, do you know how rewards would be appointed if multiple people happened by? Like, would you... Military history of Canada? Was that what I was looking at? For... Oof, that's hitting me quite hard. Need to pay attention. Oh, he's using psychic powers. Oh, hello. Oh, I'm not taking this seriously enough. I was trying to find the article on Wikipedia that I was on again. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to hear the voiceover because of how bassy it is. I wasn't really paying very much attention. What was he saying? Death will come swiftly, but undeath will be eternal. My undead army is on the march. Do not stand in its way. I am Rictus. I will slay you, and you will serve me. When I am finished, the entire world will be in a charnel house of the doomed and the damned. The dead will rise, and the living will fall. You will be a powerful addition to my undead army. Where was he off to? Was he charging towards me? Wow, he hits real hard. So, Raven Force has said that they will log in, perhaps to come and help. I guess that would be really helpful. That would be great. That'd be really helpful. I'd really appreciate that. No pressure though, if you don't want to. But I took so long taking him down. Well, I say taking him down, getting beaten up, that his totems have respawned, and I have to take them down again. No, this isn't the same Wikipedia article. I'm trying to find it again because I didn't actually look up what kind of weapon it was, like what make of weapon it was that they used. I just found out that it was flintlocks. A list of infantry weapons and equipment. Okay, I wouldn't have remembered that at all. Because it's one thing saying, flintlocks, but there actually was quite a huge range of flintlocks. And I'm curious about whether... Would you load, please? I'm curious about whether it was of a type... Because this would be quite late in the development of flintlocks. In fact, almost to the point where flintlocks were replaced with percussion caps, and then rimfire. So like this is 1860 is right at the end of flintlock use, and I'm wondering whether they might be using a unique breech loading system of flintlock that was developed almost at the end, where a section right at the end of the barrel would come up away, so that you've got the barrel leading away there. A section of the breech would come up, so you could load the gunpowder and the ammo in, and then lock it in place. So it's not really breech loading, not quite, but as close as. Why is Google refusing to load this page? Very unhelpful. Oh, I've copied the link though. Maybe I can just fucking paste it in. Paste and go. Hey! Now you're working. I don't know why the Google app is kind of shit. It's very frustrating. Service rifles and carbines. So, service pistols didn't come in, at least in the Canadian military, until 1885. So it would have to have been a carbine or a rifle of some kind. So what rifles were they using? Brown Bess, long land, shortland, India pattern. Well, if he was in a duel, I'm going to assume it probably wasn't a rifle. There's 5 different carbines it could have been. Would he have been using an old one because he was an established guy? An established Mountie? Okay, cool. Raven forces on their way. Thanks very much. Pretty out of the way here, so I'm just going to assume that the next person that turns up is Raven Force. So the Star Carbine. Ooh, looks like this was not flintlock. Interesting. Short rifle. What kind of ammo did it take though? Or it might have been the Spencer rifle, which was it looks like a lever action. Not quite the same as a Winchester, but similar in concept, where you have a lever that you push down by the trigger to cycle the ammo through. Ah, so the Spencer was rimfire. So they were moving away from flintlocks. Oh, hey! Cool. Thank you. I got a little distracted reading about the kind of weapons that the Mountie spirit that we were helping might have been wielding, what ammo he might have had. Completely unrelated. Here he comes. Hello, chap.
My undead army is on the march. Don't stand in its way. My armies have destroyed. You will join them soon.
This is not a valid target. Oh, he's gone back to do a thing. More totems. Oh, right, so he actually spawns more totems during the fight with more powerful guards. It's probably, given the fact that he was talking about spreading an undead army across the world, probably a good idea that we stop him here. Nice sigils. I don't usually go for sigils on characters because I tend to prefer to be more mobile, but then I don't really tend to do very much group play or any, like, I've not really done any end game content like cosmics, so I don't know how much movement would tend to need to be used during one of those. Maybe it's just a matter of personal preference, or maybe team content doesn't require as much movement. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, I've read the same thing about pets, that the AoE attacks in cosmics just completely smush them. Like pets in ordinary play are fine, they're totally viable for thematic builds or just for ordinary content. Maybe not terribly good. Well, like I haven't played team content with healing bots, but I've read that there are some bugs with AI priority, where if you're slightly hurt and an ally is super badly hurt, the AI healer will heal you rather than the ally who actually needs it. Cool, we won. Rictus was not very happy. Not a very happy bunny. Claiming that he would slay us and that we would serve him. Thank you very much. That was very helpful. I'm just going to be continuing with the mission I have here now and continuing to talk bollocks. I am slightly wishing, or I guess regretting, that... oh, we found the Infernus Maleficum volume already. Wait, how many of them are there? At least 2. And we have... oh, we have 2 mission-giving objects here. Okay. Viper is implanting some teleosaurs in this area with microchips that affect the creature's neural network. You can't allow these experiments to succeed. Find several more microchips and bring them back to Major George Moore. Yeah, that sounds like pretty bad news. Worm gem fragment. Oh, that doesn't sound like good. That's good either. Gems within the muck. There is something strange about these gem fragments. They might be an important factor in defeating the worms. Collect 15 fragments and report back to Major Isaac Blixen. They can be found on megadrials and lodged in the dirt in this area. Ah, so these... I was wondering why there were worm-related mission objects here in Canada when there aren't any elder worms here, but it turns out I picked that up when we were still on Monster Island and didn't notice that I had it. I wish that the mission or the character info had loaded on Rictus, so that we actually had some information about him, like why he was doing it, what his story is. I wonder whether we can check it now, whether he's respawned or not. No. I'll probably forget. Actually, now that I think about it, I've got the wiki on my tablet here. Let's change to the Champions Online wiki. Yeah, I haven't seen him turn up anywhere else other than that one open mission. So he can't be that important to the overall story. Galling as that probably would be to him. Oh, fuck off. The mobile app is site is telling me that it can't find the Rictus page. So I just have to change. Ugh, that's helpful. Rictus, a supervillain. Sources, Hero Games official site. What even is the point? Oh cool, we're done. So what was number 5? Ah, so there are 5 tomes of the Infernus Maleficon. No entry, just thanks for Rictus. Yeah, super helpful, thanks. I was just thinking, Infernus Maleficon is not really the sort of name you would expect for a book of evil magic. I mean, not one that's very old anyway. because that's the sort of name that they might come up with, you know, more recently, like from the 60s onwards, because they don't actually pay very much attention to that. Such people that write those things don't pay very much attention to the actual naming conventions of such books of magic, but it's adjacent but not quite right for a book of magic name. Let's try searching Champions Rictus. No. That's the Champions Online fandom wiki. That's not helpful. There's one that has his stats. Oh no, that's track stats for Mr. Rictus alongside the mobility. No, that's not going to be it, is it? Nathan Jones, the wrestler, who's presumably whose wrestling name was presumably Rictus. Let's try Champions Online. Rictus. Well done, my friend. Do you feel a slight calm falling over the land? That means we are making a difference, and so we must redouble our efforts in the fight against Necrol. The Google app is refusing to show the site correctly. Thanks very much. Very helpful. I mean, I could probably ask on the Discord, actually. Although whether I'd get very much of a response very soon, I don't know. Let's try. Champions Law. Oh, what the fuck? For fuck's sake, I hate using the keyboard on this fucking tablet. The buttons are too thin. Okay. Now let's wait and see whether they come back with any more info. A legacy of wickedness. Necrol's corruption of the land is so powerful he is drawing evil from all corners of this world and the netherworld. With my raven's eyes I have seen the latest unholy blasphemy to make Burial Butte its home, an ancient Babylonian storm demon named Pazuzu, which you might recognize as being almost the name of the villain demon from The Exorcist. That one's name being Pazuzu. Pazuzu, not Pazizu. This mission doesn't involve any young ladies having their heads spin round or spew vomit or anything. He's just present. You must drive this great evil from the land before the butte becomes a magnet for creatures even more powerful and evil. Yep. Valid concern. You have thrown the necroticians into disarray, but their master still plots. Necrol plots to use cursed objects called madstones to corrupt the spiritual energies of Burial Butte. Fortunately, I have not been idle, and have secured a great blessing from the spirit Nakomi. Receive her cleansing power in your hands, and know that your very touch, will now undo the damage caused by the madstones. Go. Purify the totems he has corrupted, and cleanse this land of Necrol's evil. Okie dokie. Something I also wanted to do was look up names of magic books, because as I said, I don't really feel like Infernus Maleficon is an accurate name for a book of magic. No, that Google search was not helpful at all. Let's try a list of books of magic. No, let's try a Wikipedia search. So, one Renaissance book on white magic was the Magia Neutralis. There's also the Book of Solomon. I think there's the Lesser Keys of Solomon, and which implies the Greater Keys of Solomon. But as far as I've been able to tell with limited Google searching, there isn't a book of Greater Keys of Solomon, just Lesser Keys of Solomon. Theurgy. Oh, maybe I should search occult texts, not magic. Alright, I know which curse it was, and I can say how to undo it. I see how to undo it. Right here, plain as day. Good thing that school mom I used to fancy taught me how to use an index. Reverse the perverse curse. Yes, very good. Fucking go to the website, you piece of shit. Let's try grimoires. Book of Saint Cyprian. Key of Solomon. Petit Albert. That's an odd name. Grimoire of Pope Leo. The Lesser Key of Solomon. Liber Officiorum Spiritum. Archidoxus Magica. Grimoire of Armadale. Alright, never mind. Let's see if the Discord has any more information about Rictus. Just that he is listed amongst Bronze Age villains during the 70s, alongside Archimago, Leviathan, the Slug, Buzzsaw, Sirocco, and the Griffin. Hi, Digital Seahorse. Welcome. I'm sorry if you've been here for a couple of minutes. I didn't notice. I've been looking at stuff on my tablet. Trying to find out more about a supervillain who I just fought. Well, not just, but... who I fought a little while ago, called Rictus. Oh. Yes, perhaps it is a little dusty. I was just looking up the names of magical texts because a name used in the game bothered me for not feeling quite correct. Desert dust. Why would... we're not in the desert. We're in the north of Canada. You got everything you're gonna need. Now comes the final part. Go to my grave in that ice cave and finish the ritual to undo my curse. Be careful though. I hear that demon Taxet is holding the charm I need for my freedom. Take him down and get me spirit free. Okay. So which is actually the mission? This one. Yep, this is snow. We're not in the desert at the moment. Well, yes, it's reddish snow because this is the Blood Moon event. And the whole, I think everywhere outside, every outside zone that isn't like an adventure pack zone is cast red for the Halloween event. It's a big skull, isn't it? Oh, this is a fairly short one then. A lot of skeletons around. I've been dead and cursed so long, I have no idea what to do with myself. Kinda liberating, you know? My spirit's free, and I thank you for that. But I thought I'd stick around a while. I can help keep an eye on things out here, and, well, let's just say I wasn't so good a man in life that I'm entirely sure which afterworld I'm headed for. Might be good to stack things a bit more in my favour, if you catch my drift. Oh, fair enough. Huh. Good for the spirit. Yep, we've done a lot of spelunking. But we're not here for tourism purposes. We're here to clean up the country. Or the countryside, anyway. Oops. I'm not quite sure how I managed to jump my attack from him to the ghoul, because this attack, what's it called? Lightning arc doesn't actually, or it shouldn't usually, spread. Wish caves weren't typically so slippery inside, so you'd feel more safe exploring them. Yeah, it'd be nice if caves in real life were like caves in games or films. The thing that terrifies me about spelunking is that if you're exploring somewhere new, and you just push into a new like tunnel, like spelunking involves an awful lot of squeezing through very, very small, narrow gaps that you may not necessarily know going in whether you can actually get through them physically. So you might actually just spend a lot of time wedging yourself into somewhere that you can't get out of again. So just trying to spelunk in a space that doesn't have any water in it, pushing your way through tiny crevices that you don't know whether you'll be able to get through, is scary enough on its own. But then you've got some fucking weirdos like spelunking underwater. So you've got the same issue where you might try and push your way through a crevasse or hole and you don't know whether you'll be able to make your way through, but also you have to hold your breath and you might drown. I should warn you, Necrol is aware of the good you are doing here in Burial Butte. I fear you have made a dangerous enemy. I'm a superhero. Making dangerous enemies is kind of my whole thing. I guess I'm supposed to defeat Pazizu. Yeah, there's just a huge range of things about spelunking and exploring caves that I don't really want anything to do with. Lots of things could go wrong. This voracious villain not only raises the dead, but can consume them to supplement his health. You're just a rip-off of an unseen but named villain from a 70s or 80s horror film. It was a classic film, but I don't think that qualifies any kind of respect for a dude. Let's see whether we can actually read his info this time. No, it's loading, but won't display. That's fun. So where next? Well, we need to report back to Ravenspeaker. That we've defeated Pazizu. Pazizu's spirit will return to his foul netherworld that spawned him. Surely it should be the foul netherworld, not his foul netherworld. Anyway, but these curious bindings he left behind can tell us a great deal about Necrol's plans. You've witnessed firsthand Necrol's evil. Burial Butte used to be a peaceful place, a place for the fallen and the departed to sleep under the protection and embrace of the great northern gods. Necrol and has perverted the twisted these lands. Until he has stopped, the dead will never find peace. Please take some friends with you and enter the burial caves to defeat Necrol as soon as you can. Okie dokie. I have been studying Necrol's magic and have made a recent breakthrough. I believe I can create a potion to counter the effects of his necrolytic energy, and to free those unfortunate souls still under Necrol's command. But there are still a few ingredients that I lack. Go into the Necrol caves and gather these ingredients for me, please. The burial caves are a very dark and scary place. I would suggest you bring 4 of your bravest friends along with you, because I'm scared of the dark. Where is that? Is it burial? Is that it? Well, I suppose a burial cave is very much like a crypt, except naturally forming rather than man-made. What was that splash screen we just got? Canadian supervillain with necromantic powers. He may draw his powers from the kings of Edom. That's bad news. Yeah, Jesus was buried in a cave. Ooh, hello. Is that a... Oh, it's a helpful ghost. Okay, let's talk to the helpful ghost. Ah, an adventurer has come to light the way. The northern spirits tasked me to watch over this land. This was once a place of light and hope before the evil Necrol befouled the land with his presence. Deep within this cave, Necrol toils to create a necrolytic elixir, which would make him the master of all things living and dead. He created these totems to protect him against his enemies, infusing them with necrolytic energy. Destroy the totem. He's named the energy after himself. It'd be like saying, deep within this cave, Rich toils to create ritualitic elixir, and I have infused totems with ritualitic energy to protect me whilst I work on my ritualitic elixir. Which just sounds stupid. Destroy the totems, and I will use what is left of my power to summon the light of 4 great spirits. I will guide and protect you. Okay. I mean, this isn't really very deep.
Fool. You cannot vanquish me. You can only postpone your inevitable defeat.
I was going to say, this isn't very deep in the caves, but it looks like he's going to flee deeper in. Yeah, he's definitely scared that he's going to be... well, the word is defeated, because apparently in this game superheroes cannot kill. No matter Teleios powers. Yes. You could use the same naming convention. Your Teleios energy infused in your totems to protect you. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah. All of my defeats have been shocking defeats. And all of my victories, shocking victories. I think I started saying a little earlier that having actually gotten to this point and played a bunch with the electric power set that I'm using, I'm not really enjoying it very much. It's not as resilient as I thought that it might be, or I hoped that it might be. I mean, I really don't feel like Electrical Siphon actually does very much at all. it's supposed to consume the debuff that I apply to enemies to heal me, but it's got a 25-foot range. Which means oh wait. This is 50 feet because that's the range of these. And I, as a ranged character, I'm not really that comfortable being any closer than I have to be. Like, maybe it's fine for a melee character who's just got some electrical theming. Or, I guess, a melee tank, probably. But, I mean, there are other healing powers I could use that would probably be better, because I am a damage dealer. There is a healing power I could use that heals me whenever I take damage or deal damage. Oh, come on. Where are all these assholes coming from? Yeah, I mean, I did notice when I was trying out fire character builds that the maximum range seems to be 50 feet, and that was part of the reason that I didn't go with, or that I haven't gone with creating a fire-based hero. Oh, come on. So, like, maybe I should go and respec. And take, what is it? I think it's Adrenaline Rush or something. No, that's not right. From the Might Power set. Yes, Endorphin Rush. And oh yeah, I mean, Endorphin Rush would do more than Absorb Electrons or whatever it is that I currently have, because I never use that because I'm never in range. So even if it's suboptimal technically in terms of like the maximum amount of healing I could squeeze out of it, if I were using it at full potential, like the fact that I would be using it at all would be an increase. It's not too far back, and I've got quite a lot of cash to spend. Missing. Oh yeah, electrical sheath. Right. Well, the other issue is that I don't really feel like I've got that many powers that reliably apply negative ions. It's just ball lightning, which I don't necessarily want to be using, because ball lightning is a power that tends to wander. Like, it won't just limit itself to one group of mobs. Once a group is defeated, the ball lightning will move away to the next nearest group, or it tends to. Yeah. The thing about chain lightning is that it will jump a lot longer, a lot further than lightning storm will as well. Like, chain lightning will jump between mob groups, which I don't want. I want to just take on... Like, maybe this is the wrong power set to be using for controlled mob pulls. I didn't really think about that. I didn't know that, because this is the first time I've played to this level with an electrical character. So I didn't know that this would be an issue when I was starting out. It's just that electricity seemed like, thematically, the most likely power that a character called Technical Issues would have. Also, I've never claimed to be particularly good at this game.
Your clone is immortal, you fool. You cannot vanquish me. You can only postpone your inevitable defeat.
I'm an adequate player. I'm better than I used to be, because I can at least read power descriptions. For the longest time, I didn't know that choosing a slotted passive would be useful. I think the mission reset... Yeah, I mean, it has. The mission has reset since last time. So, like, for him, this is the first time I've been here. So it makes sense. So I prefer using Lightning Storm to start with when I attack a group of enemies, because it has a fixed, quite large area of effect. Even though its range is only 50 feet, it's still a 15-foot sphere. Well, I'm following someone else's build. I'm using a build that I found on the Discord, because I know that, well, particularly stat choices, I'm not very good at. Like, I don't know the absolute best optimum stat choices. The reason I'm using flight is because I like to fly out of melee range when I'm not in a tunnel. No, not them. The totem. Yeah, Chain Lightning is probably the better choice when you're starting to attack a new group, but for my preference, it has a tendency to spread a bit too far. If mobs are fairly close together, particularly inside, it will jump. And like, maybe I'm spoiled because my main is a magic user, and the energy unlock is enchanter, so it procs every time I apply a curse, and curse application happens more often with stuff like Starfall than negative ions application happens with these powers. And like, you can choose advantages for a bunch of magic powers that give them additional curse applications, so that a power that wouldn't ordinarily apply a curse will do. Yeah, like, it definitely seems like electricity just gets everywhere. Like, Lightning Arc deals extra damage to targets that are afflicted with negative ions, but it doesn't have a chance to apply negative ions, and there is no advantage to give it that yeah, I don't know. And like, I mean, it's not just sorcery being really controlled. Like, if you're a melee character, you're very, very controlled as well. Like, none of your abilities will reach much beyond about 10-foot spheres. Yeah, I really enjoy my main, who uses Soul Beam and Starfall, and I just apply the curse debuff with Hex of Suffering. To generate energy, but also like Starfall has a chance every like half second to apply Illumination, which is a curse as well, and it seems to happen more often than I think this 15% chance to apply negative ions per to a target per tick, which is ticking every half second. I think Lightning Storm has a 15% chance every half second, and Starfall has a 20% chance per half second, and that extra 5% actually is really huge. It's a huge difference to the way that the power feels. Like, I get enough energy supply off of Starfall for my character for most fights that I need, and if I need a little bit more, I just throw out a Hex of Suffering. But this character, Technical Issues, really seems to suffer. I mean, my equilibrium's not great. I could improve my equilibrium and it would make the game play a bit better, but Electricity, at least this build, the way that I've got her and the stats that I've got, it does seem to be suffering a bit in terms of energy generation. From Necrol's research journal, most peculiar. My powers are growing. My necrolytic formula has not changed, but its effects are increased. My My reach is longer, my control is more precise, and my necrolytic regeneration faster and more efficient. Explanation? I have none. Should I be worried? Must investigate. So he hasn't just called his energy necrolytic energy, or his followers necrolytic followers. Like, his formula is necrolytic as well. He really feels like he's suffering from Chunibuyu disease, which is, for those who don't know, who aren't huge weebs, Chunibuyu refers to really, really super cringy 14 and 15-year-olds who think that they're super edgy and cool when they come up with dark backstories. So a Chunibuyu is someone who is that age group, 13, 14, 15, who comes up with stupid, edgy, really, really cringy stories and stuff. So Chunibuyu disease is a disease that affects people yeah, basically that's what I thought when I was logging in. The event for coming up with the most, what is it, dark or scary or edgy character, I was just like, yeah, like names like Dark Shadow or what could it be? I don't even know. Oh well, of course, Raven Dementia Darkness Way is Super Chunibuyu. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly, but that's it, basically. Yeah, Edgy McDark Dark, but the second dark was spelt with a Q. I'm surprised this doesn't have guards. That's odd. So Necrol, also like Voldemort, is super Chunibuyu. He came up with the name I am Lord Voldemort as an anagram for his name Tom Marvolo Riddle. He's super Chunibuyu, which amuses me no end, because he's so pretentious and overdramatic. Solos the Solitary. Is that, what character is that from? Is that one that you've come up with, or is that a character from something? Oh, cool. Yeah. Solos the Solitary, who, and his backstory would have to be really super tragic as well. Like, everyone that he meets dies immediately, so he can't get close to people. Friendly ghoul, evil spirit. That's sending me mixed messages. The walking dead, the undead, and the unholy, cursed souls all, for whom death cannot claim. Kill the undead atrocity first, or it will regain health by feeding on its fallen friends. So what exactly am I supposed to be doing here? Interact. Can't use this object right now. Thanks. Oh, there's another totem. Okay. Now I can align the crystal. I do remember the villain from Meet the Robinsons. That whole... Meet the Robinsons is so underrated. So this was a mini-mission that was bugged and was removed. Okay, fair enough. I'll stop bothering with it then. Thanks. It would have bothered me no end that I wasn't able to make it do the thing. So it's good to know that doing the thing wasn't working. Big patrol. Is it just because this is a mission that's intended for 5, a group of 5, or well, not solo mission, basically? Thought I was going to sneeze. How many of these am I supposed to be collecting? Got 15. From Necrol's research journal. I'm surprised he didn't call it the Necrolytic Journal. Strange. My experiments are more successful than I ever imagined, or can rationally explain. With each reanimation I undertake, my power grows. The effect is intoxicating, addicting. I cannot stop. My body courses with necrolytic energy, the power of death over life. I must continue my work. Immortality is inevitable. I think the next game that I play is going to be Champions Online. No, not Champions Online. This is Champions Online. DCUO, and there is an electrical power set in DCUO, and I might well just recreate technical issues in that, or as close as I can, which won't be as big of a problem because I've said that I'm not really liking electricity all that much in this, because of how splashy it is and how it tends to spread a bit more than I intend. But I don't think that the same issue is true of electricity in DCUO, so it shouldn't be a problem there to have electricity powers. I mean, in fact, the secondary role that electricity is supposed to perform in DCUO is healing support, so it would be interesting to see. I think I have played it somewhat. Like, I've tried out all the power sets and all of the weapon sets in the past. I know which ones I enjoy and which ones I don't. But I might actually make her atomic not electrical, because the atomic power set in DCUO is, I think, unique in, or maybe the rage set has as well, a teleport attack power that lets you it's like any of the lunges in this, except it teleports, so a bit like the darkness teleport lunge. I don't remember what it's called. Void shift. So atomic has an attack a bit like void shift in that it teleports you, and so does rage, I think. And why that's important is in DCUO, enemy attacks are dodgeable. They're not homing like they are in this. So if an enemy uses like an AoE traveling attack power that, you know, emanates from them and moves out, if you time it correctly and you've got them targeted, you can teleport past their attack so it doesn't hit you. And I just really like that that's available as a thing that you can do. DCUO. I really feel like DCUO's combat is superior. It's an action game, really. This isn't. I don't know that I would call this an action game. It's very much an MMO RPG style with a lot in common with RPGs that spawned it, like D&D. It's very, well, not very, but oh yeah, this will be part of the mission that was removed, won't it? RPG games like this, and like World of Warcraft, and like even like City of Heroes, there's a kind of stilted, segmented, staggered feel to the combat where you go and then they go and then you go and then they go. Like, it's much more noticeable in games like Neverwinter Nights, the original, where there is actually a subtle turn system that, if you're paying attention, you can notice, but is almost real-time rather than turn-based. But in DCUO, it's an actual fully real-time feeling action game. I don't know why I need these. Are these maybe for the mission that was the mini mission that was removed? I suppose I'll find out when I get to the end. Oh right, part of the sales mission. Okay. I thought it might be, I just couldn't quite remember. I don't remember how many I need for that, so I should check. Oh, I only need 5 quietus flowers. I've got like 15 or 20 of them. Alright, I'll stop picking up the mushrooms. It says flowers, it says they're quietus flowers, but they're clearly mushrooms. From Necrol's research journal. I remain at a loss to explain why my experiments have been more successful than they have any right to be. Could some unknown external force be amplifying the effects of my necrolytic transmutations? I no longer care about an explanation. I only crave the power each transmutation brings. I hunger for it, and as my power grows, so too does my appetite. Okay, he's definitely going off the deep end. I mean, if he were like just an ordinary arcane researcher, I'd say this is documenting his descent into villainy and evil. but he's a necromancer who's already a villain, so I really, like, he should know better. Having said that, his name is Necrol, and he calls all of his stuff after himself. So perhaps he wouldn't have known better because he was an idiot. This is a lot of dudes. Alright, let's fucking go. Oof. What the hell? I thought it was on high health. Guess this guy was really doing a number on me. Alright, well, I survived anyway. Yeah, these aren't flowers, they're mushrooms. They've even got gills, for fuck's sake. That's an quietus flower. Yeah, perhaps if you smoke them, they may change into flowers. They may change into something else. Oh hey, that'll be something I need. Oh, I require a science skill. Okay, interesting. You don't normally smoke mushrooms though, do you? I thought you just eat them. There's a fly in here. Just pooped me on the nose. Very rude. Anyway. We've crossed the threshold.
I can sense your power here, and it's delicious. I will turn your life energy into necrolytic energy, and then I will be unstoppable.
Unlikely. Oof. Wow, he hits hard. Why have I respawned here? Of all places. Yeah, I don't know that I can manage him solo. Perhaps if I were playing a tank. But I am not. Where's he at? Oh, there he is. Why am I constantly taking damage? Do I have to do something with this? just ignore him. Oh, there's a tunnel all the way through. Yeah, sure. Join me if you want. I'm not quite sure how we might go about that. I might need to leave, and I'm reluctant to, if only because I would then have to go through the whole mission again. But you can add me as a friend, and we can see whether you can join my team, or you could invite me, I suppose. Cool. Thanks very much. Is there an electrical flight power? I feel like there is. Yeah, electroflight from the Scion lockbox, which means I probably won't be able to get it. Bat flight is available from the Questionite store. Scarab flight. I kind of want to get Mystic flight for my Arcane flight from my main, but it's available from lockbox only, which means it will be available on the store. Not the store, the auction house, but it will be very expensive. Is that thanks to being inside the Ebon Sigils? Or is it just because I'm nearby to you? Ah, right, you're passive. Cool. Do the sigils... Because I haven't really read that much about any of the sigils, because I don't usually include them in my playstyle, but do the Ebon Sigils reduce damage when an enemy is within their sphere of influence? Necrol says, "Foolish mortal." Oh, nice. I will feed upon your flesh and grow even stronger. Cheery fellow. Give me your life force, my servants and I. Give me your life force, my servants, and I will destroy this cretin. Is it cretin or cretin? Because I can remember the Mike Wazowski line from the film, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's correct about how to pronounce cretin. Cratan. He's a tough cookie, isn't he? How much health has he got? You cannot defeat one who has already conquered death. Yes, you can. There are worse things than death. And just because you're super powerful so far and you've beaten everyone that you've met doesn't mean that you are undefeatable. Hurrah! Oh, he has the necrolytic secretion. I suppose it makes sense. What kind of secretion have we just collected from Necrol? Yeah, probably best not to think about it, really. So we aligned all of these obelisks, which are now gone, to close this door. I guess? I think it's a door. It looks like a doorway, but there isn't like a seam line or anything. I guess we're done. Something indicated or hinted that he was being powered up by the kings of Edom. So this might be an Edomatic, gate to Edom, which, I mean, absolutely should be closed. Bad news. Don't get it. Don't let it happen. Yeah, the whole map is a big loop. Kind of confusing, not very helpful. And this guy didn't do anything, did he? Helpful ghost. He said he'd summoned the power of 4 spirits, but... Ah, the burial cave, so that's what we got as the splash screen before. Well, thank you very much, Raven Force. Just a lot going on, trying to concentrate on several different things at once and talk about several different things. I couldn't quite remember your name, but thank you very much. I don't know if there's anything else in Canada that would require more than one person. I mean, at some point I will tackle Teleios Tower, but I think that that's just time-consuming, not particularly difficult, particularly the overbrain at the end. When I got there, when I was doing it on my main, I discovered very quickly that I could just destroy the pipes leading into the brain, and it wouldn't spawn any of the clone teleosaurs or anything. So I just floated there, shooting the overbrain with Soul Beam. And occasionally, very occasionally, it would attack me slightly. Yeah, I imagined that the water would probably hurt quite a lot. I mean, I did experimentally dip into the water of the cloning vats in the lower levels, and that hurt reasonably. So I was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. Stay out of the water. Not good. Not a good time. Time and time again, you have proven you have a brave and noble spirit. I am in your debt and proud to call you a friend. You did a brave thing today, technical issues. Thanks to your effort, Necrol will no longer be a blight upon this land. Cool. I think the rest of it is just very simple missions up here. So I've got to inoculate some infected Bigfoots. Or would it be Big Feets? Oh, there's missions down here. I'll go and help the Bigfoots first. Cool. Are these... nothing's... Oh, infected warriors, there we go, okay. That's what I'm after. I think that the thing has a bit of a long cooldown, which is kind of annoying. So I might not be able to save all of these. Yeah, it's 10 seconds. I'm not going to be able to get these guys before they despawn. That's annoying. When I was doing this with my main, because he was max level, he had absolutely no problem tanking the attacks whilst the device that heals them was on cooldown, but just at the moment I might have trouble with that. Let's see how I manage. How are they taking so much damage? I mean, I'm not... Is my block reflecting damage onto them? I think that does happen. I just didn't realise it would be that much. Do these count as infected warriors? Can I... He won't do. Snowstorm. No, he didn't count. Well, may as well continue rescuing the dude. Will he give me a mission? Am I too high level? Yes. Oh well. Still got XP for it. That's fine. So... Ah, here's another infected Bigfoot. Okay. I can deal with these guys. Kind of annoying that you get frozen in place whilst you're using the device as well. Like, I mean, I get it. You're supposed to be holding still whilst you inject something in a subject, but like, it shouldn't take that much time to line up a needle, surely. You wouldn't think. On the other hand, it's not doing that much damage to me, I suppose. Thankfully. Especially with just the one of them left. Only one more left. Cool. And the device continues to work to heal them even after I've completed the mission, which is nice. Was it here? There were more missions. Yeah. I expect I'm probably supposed to get an introductory mission just to take me from probably Raven Speaker up here. Oh, hey, there's an information sign. Over the years, there have been numerous Bigfoot sightings in the remote hills of Chiatanka Bluffs, but little in the way of concrete evidence that the elusive creatures are anything more than an urban legend. Some witnesses claim the Bigfoots are docile and friendly. Others report them to be savage and bloodthirsty. No photographic evidence exists beyond a handful of dark and blurry photos, most of which are thought to be hoaxes perpetuated by pathetic pranksters desperate for attention. Reads the sign in the Bigfoot village. Yeah, truly a mystery whether they really exist or not. I saw it in a vision last night. The spirits of the land are watching you. You, a friend to the Chieta, and you always welcome here. Called Walks in Dreams by his tribesmen, this introspective Bigfoot is blessed and sometimes cursed by visions which come to him in dreams. Desperately seeking Sasquatch. You can't talk with Bigfoots. You can't reason with Bigfoots. All you can really do is take them on, soundly defeat them, and hope you can convince them to head for the hills and stop making a dangerous nuisance of themselves. Chiatanka Bluff is a problem. Technical issues. It's becoming overrun with savage Bigfoots, but if you can defeat them and take away their axes, they sure will have a hard time making trouble for us, won't they? Take 20 axes. My ancestors came to me in dreams. Come to me in dreams. They say, walks in dreams, help us. Tsiataka Bigfoot tribe use bones in ceremony to call back spirits. Soon they call us back to world and control us. Then my ancestors tell me, you come here today, technical issues. Technical issues seems like a bit of a struggle of a name for him when he can't quite manage full English syntax. They tell me, you big hero. They beg you to return Chiata skulls to Chiata village, that let fallen Chiata warriors rest in peace, as it is meant to be. It also take away mystical power from evil Tsiataka. Yep, fair enough, worthy cause. I'll help with that. Talks to spirits. That's a bit awkward, isn't it? The spirits of the northern gods smile even on you, hairless one. I'm not hairless. I clearly have quite a lot of hair. More than the usual amount. If focused in the center of my head. But anyway. Me called talks to spirits. I am mystic for Chiata Bigfoot tribe. I am wise and all-knowing. Except for one thing. How you stay warm without fur? Well, you may notice I've got quite a lot of armor on. And, interestingly, it's centrally heated. Powered by electricity. Mystic of the peaceful Chiata Chieta Bigfoot tribe able to communicate with the spirits of the northern gods as well as his tribal ancestors, or so he claims anyway. Why would the game give us clear information that Walks in Dreams definitely does walk in dreams and get prophetic visions like that, but then cast doubt and aspersions on Talks to Spirits about whether he really is mystical or not? Like, there's no need to be shitty to the dude. And like, he clearly has magic, or something like magic. So why can't he have a similar adjacent style of magic and prophecy? The land has been corrupted by Kigatilik and the evil Tsiataka Bigfoot who serve him. That why corrupted spirit wolves prowl this land. Chieta tribe need to make offering to regain favor of Kitchi Manitou, the kindly spirit who could help us stop evil of Kigatilik. You bring me spirit wolf pelts. How am I supposed to get pelts off of spirit wolves? Like, how do you skin a thing that's a spirit? Or does the pelt just come right off when I defeat them? And I make beautiful spectral coat to honor the gods and the land. Then I make matching spectral slippers. So this guy, clearly not quite as serious as Walks in Dreams. Presumably not supposed to take him quite as seriously. I don't know why, but that's feeling a little bit off to me. Like, that's not really cool. You hear howling at night? No, actually, I don't have that sound playing. That is Killer Spirit Wolf, possessed by spirit of Turngate. He turn other wolves in pack to savage killers. As long as he out there, Chiatanka Bluffs will never be safe. His den is northeast of Chiata village, among the hills. Okay. It's nearly 11, but I started a bit late, so I'm going to do a few more missions around here, probably these ones. Because there is a mission up here to find a wrecked helicopter, but it leads to a couple more additional missions. So I suppose I could go up there and pick up those missions before I stop. But greetings, hairless one. You very little. You sure you are hero? Yes. I'm not that little. Also... Oh, cool. Okay, well... Sleep well. Thanks for hanging out, Liffy, and I hope to see you next time. I do wonder, it's just occurred to me, if I were playing like a bear character, for example, or you know, any character whose appearance I had made very, very furry, the game wouldn't pick up the fact that I'm not hairless, would it? It would still refer to me as hairless one, even if my character was appearance-wise covered in fur. Probably also would call me very little, even if I was the maximum size available for well, I mean, you can't quite make female characters as big as male characters. You can't quite get the same height, even though the slider says that you're actually supposed to be. But also, the mass slider doesn't take female characters up as big as male characters get, which personally I feel is a letdown. Like, I would really like it if you could make female characters as big as male characters. But yeah, so Ravenforce says I could literally be a giant shaggy monster and he would still call me little and hairless. Yeah. It's kind of a shame that the Cryptic, when they were making it, assumed that your character wouldn't be, or wouldn't ever be, giant and hairy. Like, they could have had they could have had Torch Burning Brightly address your character differently. Known as Torch Burning Brightly, this hardy member of the peaceful Chieta tribe is responsible for keeping fires lit in his village and making sure weaker tribesmen don't freeze. He urges you not to give other Chietas lighters or matches, or he will be out of a job. That's kind of unfortunate. But at the same time, like, his responsibility for keeping everyone warm could still exist, even if he wasn't the only member of the tribe who knew how to start fires. Lend a hand to the foot. Chieta chieftain need help. Please head northwest from Bigfoot Camp, and you find him. You know you're getting close when you see the demons. Sounds like he's having a bad time. Men who follow the Serpent God make war on Chieta. They hunt and kill my people and try to drive us from land that has belonged to Chieta for hundreds of years. We fight back, but now they have strong magic. Magic that comes from machines hooked to their heads. Remove magic machines from Viper Snake Men northeast of our village and give Chieta Bigfoot a fighting chance. Yep, okay. Sounds like some more Project Awakening dudes have managed to get upgraded. So we should definitely step in and mess them up. We need help. Some people of Chieta tribe are held captive by bad humans. Go-to tracker finds the path, and he help you. Capturing karma. Please, technical issues. Chieta tribe are starving. Teleios is the god of the hunt, and he abandoned us, and now we cannot catch food. I don't think... Ordinarily I'd say that can't be true, but this is a universe in which gods exist, so it's entirely possible that it is true. We used to wear beads that give us blessing and protection of Teleios, but those beads were stolen in raid by evil Siataka Bigfoots. Now they have blessed of Teleios, and they hunt my tribe while we're starving. Please, technical issues. Can you retrieve those beads and save my tribe? Yes. I'm also, just before I stop, going to come up here and find the helicopter wreckage. Just so that I've also got that stuff. Yeah. Where's the dude who's supposed to give me missions? Is he down here? Ah, here he is. I can't believe I lived through that crash. A storm came out of nowhere and blew my copter out of the sky. Steelhead helicopter pilot whose copter went down in Chiatanka Bluff during a particularly savage snowstorm. In his downtime, pilot Ovure enjoys gladiator movies. Interesting. Also interesting how he's just fine out here in a t-shirt. I mean, I suppose he has got body armor on, but that doesn't seem like he'd be warm enough. We got a problem. When my chopper went down, the munitions payload I was carrying got scattered everywhere. The last thing we need right now are rampaging Bigfoots with modern weapons. Munitions. Munitions means ammo, not guns, surely. Unless I'm misunderstanding the definition. I mean, the most that they could come up with is hooking up some kind of, like, staff with bullets, like ammo shells aligned along the edge so that when they hit something, the force causes the primer to go and then the round to fire whilst it's, you know, on a stick, and like kind of apply extra force like that. But The word choice here is confusing me. Between the storm and these Bigfoot monsters, my crew got scattered around here somewhere after the crash. Could you locate them and help them out? These Bigfoot creatures are out for blood. Well, some of them are, but in fairness, some of them are fine and friendly. Now, I think that will do it for this evening. I'll just fly back to the Chieta tribe village and call it an evening, I think. So, thank you everyone for coming along and joining me and talking in the chat, and thank you Raven Force for coming and helping me. I will be playing again, I'll be streaming again on Monday at 8 GMT, and I'll be going for 3 hours, and I will be doing that every Monday, Wednesday and Friday until I have done as much of the story of this game as I can possibly manage, at which point I will move on to another game. But based on how much I've done so far and how much I know is left, like there's the whole of Vibora Bay, and there's a whole bunch of stuff in Lemuria and sections of the Southwest Desert and the and Monster Island. Not to mention all of the adventure packs and the what's it called? The adventure that starts with Lady Hawk or Lady Nighthawk and goes on to Dr. Carr. Basically, even though I might be approaching max level, I'm nowhere near. I'm maybe halfway through the story of the game. Maybe. But I wouldn't bet on it. So, plenty more of this. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'd really like to see everyone there. Good evening.